Ni Nyabushozi television murere muta abanyakiruhura murere muta abantu ba Nyabushozi kandi abanya-Uganda musibire muta mwemerere muta umushana nekintu ekiri kutegana so bwira wingi abantu nbandi betenga umushana bicweka bitarimo namwe aba businesses barukora kunka kutukika omukicweke kibarkweta kato corridor ninge bicweke byabarisa nabihingi abantu bwiro wingi umushana ngo barabanisa munonga kandi twena ntwikiriza ngo umushana guteganisa abantu bengi business wise irizoba nkanyabushozi television twagezaho kwikirira abarisa tugezaho kwika abhingi kureba uko umushana gubarabanisemu uko umushana gubatu ningasho kubarire ahabwe mbera yo mushana nokwe kubatwariza utwinaha n'umwami Sebastian Muhuku ariyo mu nursery bed no kuhinga emiti kuhinga murebi kubitandika bikiri bito kandi barkwija bakereza abantu umwe bakatandikiraho kweyombeka ntwena kumbuza ningashe ntwenda kuganiraho nawe atshobore umushana gumurabanise muta ningasho umushana gumutwarize guta umwami Sebastian twakwakira. You can use English. How are you?
Thank you so much, Mr. Alan. I'm very fine. Thank you for taking this initiative to kind of intervene for our region as the Kato Corridor and Nyabushozi, Greater Nyabushozi. Well, as you know, that Nyabushozi is a semi-arid place. We get a lot of long dry spells, and because of climate change and the erosion of the natural rangelands, you've been seeing people cutting down trees, burning charcoal. There's been a lot of destructive activity happening in our farms. Okushenya, okutema amakara. When there's a lot of things that have been happening, activities that are tampering with nature. And since now global warming is a very big problem, climate change is on everybody's lips. Now this is the right time we need to intervene and start applying climate smart agriculture practices. First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm sorry I had just gone on without introducing myself. My name is Sebastian Muhuku. I studied mass communication from UCU, Mukono, but I grew up from Kawanda, and I grew up in an environment of agriculture. I was raised from the National Agriculture Research Organization residents because my parents were working with NARO. Now, that love for agriculture and the fact that I grew up surrounded by agriculturists, it made me have passion for agriculture. My whole background, I have seen agriculture see me through education, and it has been like the major source of livelihood for me. Up to now, it is still putting food on my table. Now doing the applied agriculture, or having this real passion for getting involved with the climate and trying to play my role to make sure that we can make our environment a better place for us to live. It began from Karamoja in 2016 when I registered Karamoja Tree Foundation. It was a business that is doing exactly what I'm doing here, but in Karamoja that time, because I had gone to Karamoja for business, but then I saw the need for helping people learn to know how to better the environment. And so I registered Karamoja Tree Foundation. I started supplying woodlots. I started supplying fencing trees, the keapo, because they have a culture of using thorns to fence up their manyatas. So we thought of a better option, which would be a live fence, a keapo fence, so that these thorns, sometimes they catch fire, they are not reliable, they don't last forever. But when you plant a live fence, it changes, it brings some sort of green, but also shelters. Then we started doing other species of trees that can survive in hard to live area and very hot areas, which species I think can also apply here. So after COVID, I thought maybe let me take this home because we have the same problem. And it was expensive maintaining it from away. So I came back home. I spoke to my parents, and they blessed me with a place to work from. And we registered an organization called CRIBS. CRIBS stands for Climate Resilient Integrated Business Solutions. And the primary uh, objective of us registering CRIBS is to try and improve on our nature land and natural rangelands, to try and bring ornamental trees, because people here love their compounds, and bring them flowers, bring them coffee, but not just any type of coffee. We want to bring in quality. For example, Cribs has a branch in Chenjojo. We have a partner nursery operator, but he's also under Cribs. The nursery is called Songambele. That is where we have a mother garden for KR coffee. And recently, I was not around, we have managed to raise over 300,000 seedlings of coffee wilt disease resistant species, the KR. Our mother garden has from KR1 up to KR10, and that is now the standard for national whatever coffee standards. And that Songambele was also certified by UCDA. So we want to assure the people of Kiruhura that we are here. We are beginning, but we are here to stay. We want to give them quality coffee, so that you plant what you know is safe and the yields are going to be enough. We have upcoming projects. For example, we are in discussions with the district, local government of Kiruhura district. We are looking at a partnership with them as Cribs, so that where we cannot manage, because we are a small community-based organization, so we cannot manage everything. There are times when we shall need some support, and so we think that working together with the district will make our work easy. We have a new project that we will be starting with after formalizing things, which is called Community and Nature, whereby we shall be giving households woodlots and fuel trees that can help them, at least every household, if we can plant them a small forest of 1,000 trees. That means tomorrow they will, if they want to put maybe poles in their farms, they have where to cut the poles, so that they don't deplete the natural trees. If they want to like use fuel, or they want timber to make their crushes and what, because this corridor, however much is for cattle keepers, very soon it will be shifting towards crop agriculture, because we see a big potential in crop agriculture, the fact being that these people have vast lands, and that will also help us to stop this system of land segmentation, whereby you find, if for example we have a forest as a family, it will be hard for children to say, I want to take this part of the forest and take that part of the forest. The forest will somehow protect that land to keep together.
So how has the drought affected you in business, in this business that you do? And what do you see in Kiruhura that people are not seeing?
First of all, this drought has been so hard. It's not the first time it's happening. It is not affecting only me, but it is also affecting the dairy sector. The cows don't have anything to eat. The farms are dry. People are now switching to planting pastures. Actually, pasture is one of the things that we also advocate for. We also plant pastures on contract basis for farmers. And we want to, this partnership with the district, we want to be putting different mother gardens of pastures and these different tree species and coffee in every sub-county. I understand Kiruhura has 10 sub-counties. So you want to put, yes, I think there are 10. You will try to correct me or look
Okay,
it up.
okay.
So we want to put different demonstration farms, mother gardens in each sub-county so that we can bring services closer to these people. I, for one, as cribs and in this nursery business, you'll find that during this time we have to water in the morning and in the evening. And the fact that I'm moving up and down, coordinating works, you're trying to chase seasons. Now you see we can't rise from here what we need to rise from here because of the harsh conditions. We have to move to cooler environments where we can rise from and then bring during the rainy season to supply here. So Norebangu, it is affecting us so much and it is disorganizing our programs. Most of our trees, there are some trees that I planted here on ground. Most of them have dried up in a very short time. The sun hit us for like 1 month, and because I was not around, and you know issues of management when you're not on ground, I came back, most trees had dried up, most flowers, especially these ones of petals. That's why we think we are going to concentrate mostly on species that can handle harsh conditions. In terms of trees, we are going to also advocate for planting indigenous species which were originally here, like the Musisa tree. There are very many species, but also when it comes to ornamentals like flowers, you see we will start now encouraging um, plants like snake plants, trees like acacia species, pine, uh, Tactano grantis. There are very many species. There are those that we introduced in Karamoja, like Melia volkensi, neem trees, like most of those species that can survive in such environments because the sun is here to stay. But on top of that, we think we are going to also put much focus on sensitizing farmers on better agriculture practices, but also irrigation being incorporated in our farming so that we don't feel the effects of climate change and this harsh condition.
You are very young. What inspires you to do this? Because most of the young people like doing white collar jobs. They want to be in offices. Why are you much inspired in doing this?
Well, I might look young, but I'm not that young. But well, I must tell you, I got a very good degree, Mr. Alan, from UCU in mass communication. If I'm not mistaken, I think I was among the first three in my class, and I was actually supposed to be the best, but I had an issue of switching specialization towards the end of my course because I had issues with one lecturer. Well, I can't start mentioning that. But I got a second class upper with honors from UCU. And I tried practicing journalism. I tried other sectors, what they call BAO, with public health, with World Health Organization. And then I also tried business. But there is something about nature and something about crop that I think is embedded in me. I remember there's a time when we had a meeting at Silver Springs. It was hosted by FAO. That time there was a project called Solog Production Grant Scheme, SPGS. It was under Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations. Now we were having a meeting of nursery operators in Uganda, and we were electing leaders. It turned out that I was the youngest in the whole of the in that building. I was the youngest. I think I was in my early 20s, and then they asked me the same question. Yet that time my nursery in Karamoja was the biggest and my organization was the biggest. Yet I was the youngest. Because I remember there was even a time the FAO wanted to conduct a training of some new species like that Melia volkensi. Still, they had to bring it at my nursery bed. But I think, just like I told you, I love plants so much. I have a background of plants. I love to watch things grow. It has taught me, it has brought peace of mind in my life. Now, when you listen to those birds chirping, when you look at these flowers blossoming, when you look at the different colors that are in this place, most of these plants, I have planted them with my hands and I've watched them grow. And I say, let's create beauty. It's incorporated with vegetables here. And then you see coffee. You see someone coming, they want to take some of that beauty to their home. It gives you that sort of satisfaction that you have played your part in trying to restore the beauty on Mother Earth.
What hinders you in this business, minus drought? What other things that hinders you in this business? I mean, where you see that if I'm supported here or I'm lacking this, I would have done this, but because of this and this, somehow, somewhere, I'm locked somewhere.
Well, as a youth, the biggest challenge we have is capital.
Okay.
Capital is the biggest challenge that we have as the youth. But that doesn't stop the vibrant youth from starting to work. The government has tried to give us programs like parish development model. That can be small money, but when it gets you with a plan, you can use it to do something small that will generate something small. For example, this business of mine, if you have land, it won't require you a lot of money to start. But if you're looking at a sustainable business and something that is going to serve, for example, currently as we speak in the whole of Kiruhura district, we are the only formal nursery operators, which means we have a burden of satisfying this insatiable market that we have in this region. And it's not easy when you're small and you are constrained when it comes to capital to raise the numbers that you need. For example, I'm talking about households. You can tell me how many households you can ascertain that can be in 10 sub-counties. When you give them 1,000 trees per household, how many trees you need to raise to satisfy the whole community. You'll see that you will need things like transport to reach these services to the people. You will need to be hiring extension services like extension workers. You will need agro inputs to sustain what you're raising to supply to these people. Agro inputs like whatever fertilizers, what to raise these things. For example, for coffee, you'll need rooting whatever's rootex and what. If you're raising big numbers, also the price goes up. You'll need pots for potting these things. To make now in such an environment, we need to put standard structures with shade nets and galvanized steel. That is a lot of money that we are talking about. As a youth who's beginning, now that is where the challenge comes from. So the government needs to come in through some programs and also help to get us like donors in this docket of climate change and support the youth who have tried to come up with such projects so that now we can make things happen easily. Well, nothing is easy, but with some support, the road is smooth.
We are in a cattle corridor, and most of the cattle, I mean, those in dairy farming, cows are dying. And when you tell farmers to, to grow these pastures, it's like it's hard. Most of them, they say it is very expensive to raise pastures. It's for those rich people. What do you say about that?
Well, that is something, I think it's a wrong thing to think that pasture is for the wealthy or the well-to-do or the rich, as we call them. First of all, if you have, when you conceive as a woman, the next stage is to deliver. when you decide to enter agriculture as a business, you should know that this is a business. And a business moves according to how much you have. That is what you work around. For example, let's talk about super napier, pak chong grass. If you're to plant a chibingo, there is that new chibingo that they plant, the super napier.
Not pak chong.
Yes, pak chong. Now, I think we even have some here, which I'm also going to use for shades. It can help you use it for shades as someone who wants to raise like seedlings and what. But it also grows so fast, and it is very cheap to plant, and it is very resistant to harsh conditions. So you see that the seed is cheap. It is good. It can be planted in such harsh conditions, but it also grows fast. That means you can harvest multiple times. So it is not about the rich. When we talk about pasture, there is different pasture. There is hay. There are very many pastures. So you can choose from what you can choose from. You can also plant maize and use visagazi as food supplements on top of what we have in the farm. So it is not right when people say that pasture is for the well-to-do.
Your last message to the general public, maybe the government and the youth and the women in business.
I like working so much with the youth, the women, and smaller holder farmers, because that is where we are going to get the greater number of people to come and embrace farming. And as if you can see, 5 years ago, people were not talking about farming the way they are talking about it now. Today, you'll find even the people in the white-collar sector, most of them are leaving that sector, coming to farming, because that is where it's like the source of refuge. You'll find at least someone, if they are working in office, they have a cow or two somewhere. They have some goats. They are doing piggery somewhere in the backyard. They are doing some chicken, poultry. They are doing some rabbit. They are doing, because first of all, for food security, we need to embrace farming. For sustainability of livelihoods, we need to embrace farming. To improve our lives as people and the environment, we need to embrace farming. See, everything revolves around life now because of this climate change and food security. The population is growing. We are almost hitting 9 billion people in the whole world now. And as the population is growing, we need to create safer places and secure places in terms of food security and environment. That doesn't stop only with us humans, but also taking care of Mother Earth that is taking care of us. The waters, conservation of wetlands, cultivating of more food, healthy food, good food. Because if we don't do this, we shall find ourselves trying to genetically modify food, which is not safe and healthy for us. So I think we need to all come together, just like we fight racism, just like we fight crime, just like we fight wars and diseases. Now we need to come together and fight for Mother Earth that is keeping us together here. Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Now, you see, just like we were talking about issues of dry spells and for poor farming practices. This is a farmer of one of the prominent farmers, one of our neighbors. But if you see, the ground is totally dry because, first of all, of overgrazing. People love getting numbers, having a lot of cows, and they forget about taking good care of these cows. So you find cows suffering. So what we need to do is to supplement on the free-range type of grazing that we are doing, but we also need to do proper farming practices, reduce the numbers and take good care of a few numbers so that when challenges of like hot sunshines and long dry spells come, you are able to go through that hard time as it comes. And we also encourage food banking, making silage. You can cultivate super napier, you can cultivate maize and cut it as bisagazi. So when it's good practices in farming that will help us.
abarisa b'ingiro bagira ngo ente tikwingirwa kuba ku bano bagamba bagira ngo kwingira ente nketenge mpiha nyingi notamu esente nyingi munonga konka kandi okufisa ente kuri expensive ningashi nuko kukiza yo kuba kubi omulisa wena orukunde ente ze tokubere noenda ngo urebe ente yawe nekaba wano urebe itakeri yo kurukusha ntikira kundo kuri sente nyingi abarisa barukunda kuri sente nyingi nikirungi konka kandi teka munonga ahitaka lyawe lyandi sharti mazimente zawe no ikunda wano ureba entene yo mucucu wano ureba entene bandama then ntubantu gamba ni owiro bwingi ushango mulisa gumiza ati tukubasa kwingira ante kashikano basa kwishakira hatu wazo mutawuni yarshere sayiri gimba gitunda abantu basibana bapakira motoka mbweni ngira ngo ocendeze namba yento bwingi bwente omwitaka o planning ngereze entenke ezo kubasa gumya ikwereze cyango no even no munjura no mushana ebe yamate hateri yayiguru aba bayinamate no barukutunga senteze mbwenteka teka munonga enjura kwiratera hansi orere kubyamo kashoto gambira narhanga bwanyuma enjura kutera hansi ukashoto mushana ko tukwijagarkaho turi mu kwezi kwa munana rebe so kwerukusha mbweshe kutwakuza kwezo kwa munana kuona no muri sacho wagumyente abarisa mwa muri yabo gumyente ningira ngo twine kuteka munonga okutwakubasa kwingira entezi no kwirebera okagumyente nche ikakwereza cyango yebare munonga.